AWS for Manufacturing, explores how cloud technologies and agentic AI are transforming manufacturing into intelligent, connected ecosystems. Now, please welcome our distinguished speakers, Mr. Bhaskar Joshi, Head Corporate Business, and Mr. Anindya Bhattacharya, Industry Lead Manufacturing. A warm round of applause, everybody.
Good afternoon, and I'd like to start by thanking the DS Group for this opportunity to be part of this Ascend initiative and to talk about AWS's experiences working with customers in consumer goods, manufacturing, and distribution industries. While I'll open this session, my colleague Anindya is the one who will do the real deal by showing you some of the examples of where we have implemented solutions, including some live demos of working solutions which have helped customers realize value from not just artificial intelligence, but artificial intelligence gets built on the foundation of data. So how you can realize value from data in areas spanning the entire breadth of the organization, starting from supply operations or supply chain optimization as it is sometimes referred to, manufacturing operations in areas like sustainable manufacturing, safety and quality improvement, as well as going beyond the manufacturing into warehousing, distribution, and the insights which can come out of that. So some of these solutions are live examples of customers who are already realizing, and we have quantified the value realization or savings in some cases, incremental business in certain other cases, purely coming out of productivity gains and such. So Anindya will be touching upon that. This will be about a 25 minutes session, but please feel free to ask questions. At this point, I'll hand over to Anindya. All yours. Take it away.
Thanks, Bhaskar. So I also have the extended team here. We have account leader Akash, also have Mayank, who's going to play a very important role in driving the ERP-led integration on some of the things that you will see here. Now, just to make it quick and interactive, any guess what this could be? Any guess? There is no right or wrong answer.
Quantum computer.
And sir, why do you think this is relevant today? Or why am I showing this?
It has huge computing power, and we need a huge computing for AI. So
Perfect.
It's very relevant for today.
Okay. So this is for you.
Thank you.
So this is Rigetti. This is something that Amazon uses. We created as part of what we call as Amazon Science. Amazon Science, a lot of people have not heard of it. That's one of the verticals within Amazon which is focused on about 13 different research verticals like quantum computing, next generation material research, and all of that. So this is Rigetti. Why do we use it? The products that you order on Amazon.com, we have 400 million SKUs that we forecast at any given point in time. 400 million. And we have close to 400 plus fulfillment centers. Every single product will have more than 15 locations to fulfill, 50 different sources to fulfill. And of course, the entire fleet that is serving it. So with that kind of data in hand, it is practically impossible for someone to do it on erstwhile AI techniques and hence the supercomputer. Now, a lot of people at times say, "Acha, Amazon aa gaya hai bolne ke liye, Amazon ko manufacturing ke bare mein kya pata hai, right? They're just a cloud infrastructure." And truly, I mean, I come from industry. I've spent a lot of time with Tata Steel. When I joined cloud, one question I get asked is, "Bhai, dimag kharab ho gaya kya? Cloud pe aa gaya manufacturing chhod ke." So I say that no, this is where the future is headed. So the use cases that you will see today and what Bhaskar also emphasized on actually is delivering value for customer. Now, we as Amazon, I just wanted to share 3 or 4 things here. The fulfillment center or the warehouse that we have are factory for us, right? At any fulfillment center, there are close to about 50 different software systems which are working to fulfill the order that you have placed. These systems are SCADAs, HMIs, PLCs, IoT platforms, all of that. 50 systems are working together to deliver what you order. We have close to 2 lakh robotic cells in our warehouses. Robotic cells pick, place, scan, label, manifest, dispatch. So there is a factory within a factory that we have close to 200 robotic cells that are working in cohesion to deliver what you want. Every item that we want or we want to order on Amazon would have more than 50 sourcing locations and greater than 150 shipping options, right? And then last but not the least, this is something that I personally love. Every fulfillment center that we have on an average, 15 mile ka conveyor hota hai usme, 15 miles of conveyors. So for us to run these 15 miles of conveyor, I need the entire technology to come together and deliver what we call as symphony. वो देखते हैं ना orchestra में ऐसा करता है, symphony और सब ऐसा करते हैं. We need that. So that is how we call as symphony in action. We have our own smart factory where we assemble a lot of things. This smart factory is in Wichita where we assemble rover kits. By the way, जैसे ही ये handover हो तो इसमें Amazon Basics लिखा है. So this is one of the things that we assemble. Plus Alexa devices, Echo. ये कहाँ पे assemble होता है? कहीं तो assemble होता होगा ना? And we take customers here for visit. So a lot of our customers from India, abroad, this is based in North America. We have 3 more centers across the world. These are live operators on the shop floor. So we try a lot of technologies ourselves before we ask customers to try it out. Last but not the least, before we go to the core AI topic, are there any plant heads or manufacturing or any business leader here? Perfect. So we also support what we call as global lighthouse certifications, right? Which is an empanelment with GLN. If you know Unilever, it's a global lighthouse. Unilever, multiple factories are global lighthouse. That's a North Star for us. There are close to about 208 plus lighthouses in the world. I aspire, that's something that we were discussing before the session. One of your factories should definitely aspire for a GLN. And that is a North Star that we will also commit if you are ready to commit. Now, I'll come to some of these solutions later, just to give you a sneak peek. ये warehouse है जैसे Amazon का. So we do 2 things. First, this is the first AI project I want to show to you. So we use both for greenfield and brownfield. So मान लीजिए ये existing warehouse है. We go, we scan the existing space of the warehouse. This is very relevant for you because you are into commodities where storage is very important, vertical stacking ho, horizontal stacking ho. So we go in, we scan the entire warehouse. We call it as a warehouse 360-degree survey. On the right-hand side, we create a schema. Once the schema is generated, that data is fed into the system, automatically sent to cloud. And as soon as that is done, it looks at shelves, stations, racking, binning, stacking, all of that. And then it finds out where the opportunities are. And then there is an AI agent, which I will show you in a minute, which then continuously tells the warehouse head or warehouse manager, this is the scope of optimization. So all my fulfillment centers across the world, they are not static FCs. So there is an optimization happening at any given point in time, which is with regards to storing, stowing, labeling, scanning, manifesting. And hence, although the racks and bins are fixed, but the robots can go anywhere. I can actually place this thing with a pen in the same rack. And it uses sensor fusion technology to find out, right? And of course, there is an AI agent which is guiding it. So in our warehouses ourselves, first thing we do is we start with AI at scale in finding where the optimization is. So ये हम लोग 2019 तक करते थे. उसके बाद a wise person with an Amazon realized that, okay, why don't we offer this to our customer? So as we speak, there are about close to 25 customers who's now taking the advantage of this solution, working along with AWS to skim through their new warehouses, to set up the new warehouses, also optimize their existing brownfield warehouses. And all of this is offered as a build, co-build with you. So this is not a software platform. This is not a SaaS, right? So this is for you and the IP remains with you thereafter. Next question, another chance for a chocolate. I know that's not very enticing, but I thought, let me just add that. Any idea what could this be, right? I'm just going to show you. What is this? Any idea what this is? Again, no right or wrong answer. This is supply chain or warehouses. Okay. Anything else that comes to your mind? Any कोई भी right wrong answer नहीं जो भी दिमाग में आ रहा है, right? Sorry. Neural network, great attempt. Supply chain network. Any other answers? So what is this? Is basically this is the day in the life of a plant head, right? So typically, if you see, we call it as a fog of operations. There is a data which is coming from safety equipment. There is a data which is coming from basically HSE. There is a data which is coming from core machines. There is a data from process. There is a lot of decision making. There is cross-functional logbooks. There is a quality data, energy data, production data, variability data, all of that. And hence, the number one complaint that my plant head has today, and they come to AWS or our partners with, is I have this fog which I need to be kind of decluttered, and I would like to know what is happening without actually doing hours of analysis. So that sets the precedence for me to create what I call as knowledge graph. Knowledge graph. One thing that you should take kind of with you today, अगर बाकी सब भूल भी जाएं तो knowledge graph याद रखिएगा, because that is core of what we will talk about today. So the first thing is creating a knowledge graph. Now, once I have created the knowledge graph, and if you see, a plant head is grappling with, you will see the slide once it comes, with so much of information कि मुझे करना क्या है, relationship क्या है, failure कहाँ पे हो रहा है, कितने machines हैं, कितने quality parameters हैं, how is a sensor working. So there is a plan versus reality versus consequence. And hence, what we do is we say, and this is something that we always start जब भी हम लोग engage करते हैं customers के साथ, what is the end value that you want to achieve. So currently, we engage with a customer, we go to the factory or operations business, we look at what's your current potential, what is your current baseline, and then as we go along, we look at what is that you could have made if there were no constraints. So typically moving from a 66 to a 72%. Now we then deploy agents, AI solutions or ML, to also support, act as an advisory, what Bhaskar was alluding to, that मेरे loss कहाँ पे हैं. Now for a human, for a plant head and his team to do this at a scale means hours and hours of analysis. मेरे downtime कहाँ है, मेरे management losses कहाँ है, मेरे raw material कहाँ है, मेरे maintenance downtime क्या है, all of that, right? So this is what is creating the fog. And hence in a typical, for a CIO, a day in the CIO, the center is what is important, the digital backbone. And when I create the digital backbone, चाहे data SAP से आ रहा हो, Team Center से आ रहा हो, PTC से आ रहा हो, कहीं से भी आ रहा हो, doesn't matter. I can create a knowledge graph across the entire enterprise and I could derive value. So now let's look at few demos, examples. कि ये खाली back of your mind, please do keep this knowledge graph in mind. We will start with one project that we did for a customer who's making biscuits. Of course, cookies and biscuits, okay? This is the landing page. So I'll just log into the system. I hope it logs in. Now, I will also call Mayank in a minute to talk about how's the SAP data so integral and why on AWS, to spend 2 minutes on it. But before that, मैं आपको ये project समझा देता हूँ. So the Vice President Manufacturing gave us a challenge कि मुझे 2% EBITDA improvement चाहिए. Top line तो आ जाएगा, but bottom line मुझे improvement चाहिए. और आप मुझे ये बताइए that how will the entire biscuit factory, which is making biscuits and cookies of multiple SKUs, can be more profitable and where the losses are. So the first thing is, before I go to AI assistant and all of that, there is a 4-stack layer. पहले data ingest करना, data को store करना, data को process करना और contextualize करना. So when Mayank comes, he's going to spend little bit of time, 2 minutes on the processing insights and orchestration. But before that, let me just quickly walk you through. So for a plant head, it is very easy that there is AI which is continuously monitoring कि सर आपका ओटिफ क्या है, आपका ओई क्या चल रहा है, आपका जॉब्स पर आवर क्या है, आपका साइकिल टाइम क्या है, कॉस्ट क्या है. नाउ दीज आर टेबल स्टेक, डैशबोर्ड्स एंड डैशबोर्ड्स एंड डैशबोर्ड्स. तो हमने बोला देयर इज नो रॉकेट साइंस इन दिस, एनीबडी एंड एवरीबडी कैन डू दिस. हाउएवर, if you see, there is an AI agent for each of the data which is getting analyzed every minute, every second, and that AI agent is continuously telling you that Mr. Planthead or ma'am, look, this is where you need to optimize, this is the way you can optimize, and this is where the losses are. So now, first stage is monitoring, second stage is where the losses are, actual losses are. So I'm looking at overhead cost, material cost, total cost, I'm looking at setup cost, labor cost, consumable cost, health and safety cost, all of that, right? From there, there is the second AI agent, which is now using all this data, and it is telling you that agar there is a loss like a breakdown loss, to wo loss hua kyun hai? And therefore, how can you rectify that loss? So the first was monitoring, second was investigation, third was get to level 3, level 4 of investigation. And now, isme bhi, there is no, again, this is not a rocket science, right? The real value is, what do I do with it? मैं इसको रोकूं कैसे अब? And that is where, if you see, I have something called cockpit, जिसमें, for example, if it's a Dow mixing stage, right? There is the third AI agent, which is now telling you कि आपको operational actions क्या लेना है. So, for example, the current Dow mixing is okay, it is green, but just to give you an example, although it is working at a 92%, there are certain gaps in terms of batch efficiency, and it is also telling you that आपको क्या operational actions लेने हैं so that you can improve it. So not just monitoring, evaluation, root cause, but also telling you what is to be done. And last but not the least, it is also recommending you that what are the set points you should be using so that you achieve golden batch. Now, chalo biscuit mein, for a shape and for the size it is okay. Bhaskar was telling me taste kaise laoge, right? And of course that's where the human in the loop is important. So therefore AI can, and hence we also recommend that AI wahan pe use karo aur us use case pe use karo jahan value dikh raha hai in crores, otherwise don't experiment. Second is, without human in the loop, without that knowledge, you need to also look at what is the arbitrage between human in the loop and AI, ya khali human karega to kitna aa raha hai. Only then you take a decision whether that really makes a sense or not. So, just to close the loop, we get into identification, root cause analysis, operational actions, set points. So this is the second thing that it does, right? Last but not the least, what it also does is something which is very integral here. If you look at the logbooks, right? Aapke factories mein logbooks after logbooks after logbooks hai. So we have AWS services and solutions which will also help translate some of the rich content of these logbooks over the last 10 years and translate into some of the meaningful AI insights which you can do with. Abhi ye to ho gaya one example of how you can run your entire operations as a golden batch. I will just come to the architecture here. Now, a lot of times my customers, and especially the CIOs org, they are always asking कि अच्छा इसमें agent क्या है, right? So एक agent जैसे यहाँ पे है, there is a loss root cause analysis agent, corrective action agent, workflow agent, and then there is a closed loop agent. So wherever, whatever question you have, agent, can you find out that what are the reasons because of which my coolant pump is failing? So the agent goes back and it looks at 10 साल का data, and it comes back and tells you these are the reasons, these are the vendors, these are the parts, last time ये fail हुआ था, ये action आपने लिया था, और next 2 महीने के बाद वो फिर fail होगा. So it is also predicting that. Mayank, you want to quickly talk about the SAP architecture here. If you see, from a insight standpoint, why is SAP data so important, and especially AWS for SAP MCP server, right?
Thank you, Andy. So I think SAP data is important, that almost accepted factor, right? Because SAP is backbone. And the most important thing, and Anup sir mentioned in the last panel discussion, when we talk about SAP, how we can securely communicate while doing the agentic AI use cases. And that is where we have released Model Context Protocol, AWS MCP for SAP on Agent Core, which fundamentally based on the Open Data Protocol, OData, which SAP standard uses for interaction with SAP in real time, be it posting or reading and so on. And while doing that thing, it also ensure that communication happens secure, scalable, and all auditable, because that is the key requirement for SAP. So if you look into this entire manufacturing thing which is there, for a lot of interaction, it has to be the bi-directional update within SAP system. So any AI agent which has to do some kind of real benefit, it has to interact within SAP and do the update and also read it. Now the second part about the data which Andy you mentioned, when you are asking about SAP data, taking SAP data is one of the challenging tasks, I would say, because the way SAP has been done, it's a product. And if you say that you have to take entire SAP data, it's a challenging thing because there's different product. But if we know exactly what to be done, let's say sales order or manufacturing, we can use the OData protocol via our tool which is Glue, or we can use the third-party tool like Fivetran or BDC, whatever it is there. And then that can be put in a AWS data lake architecture where data massaging and semantic happen, and that can be consumed around it. So if you put these two things together, which is data, which we can get what data is needed, and model context protocol for agentic AI interaction with SAP, it gives you capability to implement your agentic AI use cases.
Perfect.
Thank you,
Mac. So second, quickly, the use case, I had 3, and I think I'll run out of time, but if you can allow me 2 more minutes at the end. This is the second project for a CPG company who's using boilers, chillers, evaporators, a lot of these utility assets, right? Now the use case is very simple. The VP manufacturing said कि मेरे को आप स्टीम बचा के दो, स्टीम कंजम्पशन कम कर दो. दूसरा, मेरे सारे बॉयलर्स त्रिवेणी के हैं, 2.5 मेगावाट से लेके ऊपर तक जाता है, मेरे हर बॉयलर्स को सेम एफिशिएंसी पे रन करना है, और एटलीस्ट क्लोज टू द रेटेड एफिशिएंसी. So this was a big task for us, and this was a 7 crore per year of benefit per plant, which has close to about a unit of 2 to 3 boilers and about 3 chillers. So 7 crore per annum per plant is what we are looking at. They had about 35 plants. Now, this entire project that you see, customer has built. None of this that you are seeing is built by us. All customers mimic in less than about 6 weeks, where the first prototype went live using Agentic AI and our platforms that we will enable you with. So this is anyways the digital twin जो live monitoring कर रहा है, not a rocket science. But the important thing that I want to highlight here, यहाँ पे अगर आप देखेंगे, and I hope it is visible from the back, AI is saying that ये सारे process में feed preparation से लेके mixing से लेके evaporator से लेके आपके current deviations ये हैं, चल रहे हैं जो. अभी ये deviations is causing certain impact on your overall golden batch. So your target is 98.5%. You are currently at about 86.4%. The data changes because it's a real dashboard. It's a real platform. And then if you see, it also tells you that how much are you missing the mark from. And not just that, it also does man, method, material, machine level orchestration, that what are the issues which you are grappled with because of which you are not able to hit that efficiency numbers. On top of it, the plant head said, मैं इससे खुश नहीं हूं, आप मुझे actions बताओ क्या करना है, और मैं humanless boiler चाहता हूं. Control room में खाली एक बंदा बैठे just देखने के लिए कि AC ठीक से चल रहा है कि नहीं. बाकी it should be completely autonomous operations. So we've moved into autonomous operations where the agent is now, if you see here, it's actually suggesting that what should be done ताकि ये वाला जो operations है वो control हो जाए. So here it says you optimize the feed rate, and not just that, it's saying that you should improve the feed rate from 68.3 to 58. And ये पिछले 10 मिनट से run हो रहा है. Here there is an option where the agent goes and takes action. It goes back and writes in the PLC, and वो data वापस जाके close looping हो जाता है, so that there is no human in the loop, at least after 6 months of trial, to take this operations manually. So therefore, what is happening all of this, because of this, it is helping them gain the overall steam, reduce the overall steam consumption, and also downtime of the overall factory and golden batch. And then at the top, if you see, it is also telling you कि आप against your target, how much are you doing right now. So it is continuously also telling you आपको benefit मिल रहा है कि नहीं. A lot of times बोलते हैं कि platform का benefit क्या है भाई. Software में IT team ने implement करवा दिया करोड़ों का platform. What is the benefit? So it also gives you the benefit. Now the cost of this platform is less than 25 lakhs for one factory. and there is no perpetual license. It's built on completely a kind of a copilot mode, which is Amazon Quick for us. I request the account manager to also give you a perspective on Amazon Quick kaise karna hai. So this is one of the use case which is 7 crore per factory per year benefit. Abhi quickly, I hope if you can just allow me some more time, ek aur karke I will just close it. So this is a supply chain control tower for a foods company, GCR Foods. Actual name is not GCR Food. The problem for them, again, we start with the problem statement, so typical of Amazon. Okay. So if you see, the problem here is this food company saying that mera fulfillment is a problem. The trucks, the fleet which is going out to the market, I want to know why is it failing to fulfill, what are the root causes, and I want a complete control tower of my entire outbound operations. So if you see here, it has the following tab. पहले तो network दिखा रहा है कि कहाँ पे वो serve कर रहा है. For the supply chain head, it creates the 4 prioritized disruption. कि sir, ma'am, ये आपका disruption है अभी, and immediately the agent also talks about that ये order number है, ये order number में ये issues हैं, इस issues को mitigate करने के लिए एक alternate route ये है, alternate route का low risk है, but at the same time there is also a high risk. High risk में पैसा कम लगेगा, low risk में पैसा थोड़ा ज़्यादा लगेगा, but then it is up to you which one you want to choose. So it is also recommending you what to do if there is a network issue. The second thing it does, inventory planning. पूरे आपके inventory में कहाँ पे, be it be plant, be it be central DC, RDCs, regional warehouses, आपके stock out के situations क्या हैं? And therefore, if you are running stock out, what should you be doing? So it also takes action. यहाँ देखिए, it is executing an action कि अगर यहाँ पे stock नहीं है, तो मैं मुंबई plant से 3000 unit को पुणे warehouse पे transfer करूँ. एक AI agent आया, उसको execute किया, जैसे ही execute हुआ, backend पे SAP है, and the TMS is there, so the auto transfer order is created, and there is a workflow that gets generated. Again, there is no human in the loop. Initially, the human in the loop was to set the business processes once. Likewise, other recommendations. Third important agentic AI is autonomous agent. What is autonomous agent? Closed loop. मानिए कहीं पे कुछ issue आया, truck deviate किया, तो agent खुद ब खुद WhatsApp call करता है driver को, email भेजता है supervisor को, और एक notification raise करता है what the deviation is, and if there is a incident of threat, it also calls up the first protocol to take action, which could be a police action, which could be raising a CAPA or calling the supervisor. So there is an agent in the loop which is continuously looking at theft management, damages, and autonomous deviations. Plus, ये बहुत important factor है. This food company wanted a live intelligence tower कि कहाँ पे strike हो रहा है, कहाँ पे port issues हैं, कहाँ पे freight risk है, कहाँ पे rainfall ज़्यादा है, कहाँ पे issues हैं, and can I use that to transfer that intelligence back to my fulfillment? So it is continuously monitoring those issues also, and it is continuously looking at traffic, ports, fuel, all of that, right? अगर breakdown हो गया उसका. Finally, all of that comes to the supply chain head या transport head कि ये आपके total decisions लेने हैं, आप बाकी सब dashboards को भूल जाओ, इन चीजों को आप focus करो, ये सारी चीजें हैं जो customers को जा रहा है. And on the right hand side, it also has a collaboration window कि ये लोग जो हैं, these are the people who are available right now for your team where you can do collaboration, which could be a transport manager, which could be a logistics head, which could be a demand planner, it could be a warehouse manager. All of them are there, which shows the live team also for collaboration. And then the data sources are, as I said, S4, MCP servers for SAP. So SAP is key, right? We are probably one of the most strategic partners. And before I end, I'll just show you one very quick statistics on the threats and vulnerability because the previous panel was talking about it. IoT data, fleet data, all of that is integrated. So we have connectors which are providing some of these informations and APIs with third party, right? So this is something worth looking at, complete agentic operations for your logistics control tower. Abhi, we have shown you a lot of things, right? All of this comes to one single question. And I think the previous panel was also talking of threats and security. So therefore, at AWS, we have this shared model, customer security क्या own करता है, AWS क्या own करता है. It should be very clear कि हम क्या own करते हैं, आप क्या own करते हो. We both are responsible for security. Now, while this is known and this doesn't change from one hyperscaler to hyperscaler, but what is very important is there is an analysis between 2018 to 2025 of Frost and Sullivan which talks about the incidents by cloud service provider, and AWS, as it says, the incidents probably are the least in the last 7 years across the world. In terms of security vulnerability, if you look at AWS versus any closest cloud provider, it talks about the CVs, the vulnerabilities, the total service disruptions in terms of disruptions overall. G2, I don't know who, of course I know what G2 is. And A1, what is A1? These are cloud service providers. AWS had the least, about 450. And the last but not the least, just say manufacturing people starts with safety threat, safety incident. So we also look at incidents and downtime, right? So if you look at downtime, the total incident duration gap for AWS is close to about 118 hours. The nearest cloud service provider is 1,083 hours. So it talks about the resiliency of the cloud and therefore what you need to do from a security threat standpoint. This is of paramount importance. खाली सस्ता मिल रहा है cloud करना है, that should not be the objective. Safe, secure ho, and therefore the incidents are less, troubleshooting is faster, and mean time between failure is high. So this is one thing that I wanted to leave you with. And I'm almost done, so just a couple of things before I close out. I just shared with you 3-4 use cases, right? There is one on procurement, one on sourcing, one on logistics, driver safety, factory safety. There are so much use cases on AI that we are doing. But मैं एक ही चीज आपको बोलूँगा, आप हमेशा question कीजिए what is the dollar value, right? But at the same time, yes, you should experiment, but dollar value should be very important. Again, knowledge graph. अगर मैं 10 साल का डेटा को एक जगह लेके आऊँ, तब जाके जैसे ये कस्टमर है, ये सारा प्रोजेक्ट्स करने के बाद they have defined कि अगर मेरा spares holding cost 5.6 crore per annum से reduce नहीं हुआ, 18 crore से 5.6 crore नहीं हुआ, तो फिर क्या फायदा इस प्रोजेक्ट का? अगर मैं mean time to repair is not down from 4.3 hours to 1.9 hours, फिर मेरा क्या फायदा इस AI प्रोजेक्ट का? So every project should be tied to a business goal. Bhaskar also alluded to it, and that is very, very important. Lastly, AWS क्या करती है? AWS basically operates in all the 4 layers. अगर आपके दिमाग में है कि AWS क्या करेगी इतने सारे में, हम लोग लेवल 1 फैक्ट्री का डेटा को लेके आना, फैक्ट्री का डेटा को स्टोर करना, फैक्ट्री का डेटा को प्रोसेस करना और उसके ऊपर फिर उसके ऊपर एनालिटिक्स और AI लगाना. Those are the 4 layers that we operate. But if you see, the top layer is what we start with, governance, security, and hence I thought let me share that information with you, which is safety, threats, incidents, downtime. Okay. There are certain on supply chain that I had, but I will share with you next time. So all the projects that we typically do, this is what we believe in, chala ke dikhao. And hence, all the projects, when we go to a customer, we say, don't ask the customer for money. Put your money at risk first. So as AWS, one of our culture is to build prototypes. Of course, agar customer ke paas POC ka paisa hai, nothing like it. Of course, we welcome. But at the same time, we take that risk off you. We say, let's build a prototype, right? Chala ke dikhate hain pehle. So most of the use cases that you saw always started with the problem statement, chala ke dikhao team from AWS and partner, showing it to the business heads, starts from a VP operations or a CEO, then you decide whether you want to take it forward or not. So we take that risk of you. And one thing from our founder, if the size of your failures isn't growing, you are not going to be inventing. So please don't discourage your people from failing. We have failed more than any other hyperscaler, probably any other company, and hence you see Alexa, hence you see Fire Sticks and all of these products, right? So failure is integral part of who we are and what we do. Thank you so much for your time.